Okay guys, welcome to the another video. In this particular video we are going to see what is load balancer and how it works. So without wasting time, let's get started. So in order to understand what is a load balancer, let's take a little bit help of visual diagrams. Okay, so by the help of this diagram, first I will explain why load balancer is needed, then I will explain what is a load balancer and how it works and how it is implemented over the cloud. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think the diagrams are visible to you. Okay, so imagine these are the two users. Okay, it's a mobile 1 and let's say it's a mobile 2. Okay, so these are two mobile users, and suppose in the left hand side this is a server. Okay, so let's say server 1 is there and the green one is website and this is a nginx. Okay, so usually normally what happens, whatever, if suppose the mobile 1 is sending the request, it will go to the server 1. Similarly, if mobile 2 is sending the request, it will go to the server 1 of the nginx and then it will forward to the website, and accordingly they will get response back to the mobile phone 1 and mobile phone 2. Okay, so far so good, but what if the website visitor increase? What if there is a lot of load on the server? So in that case, it might be possible that this particular server instance might crash and might go offline. So what is the solution here? Solution is a load balancer. So how exactly load balancer works? Okay, so let's remove these lines. Imagine there is a one more server in between right here, and imagine there is a one more replica of exactly first server. Okay, so if the website is static, you can say that there is an exact same replica. But if website is not static and your website is dynamic, like let's say something like Django server or something like Laravel application, so in that case the setup is going to be a little bit different. But if the website is static, then almost it is going to be a replica of each other. So right now we have the two servers. One is server 1 and this is the server 2. Okay, let me mark it's a server 2. Now in this case, what happens, this middle server that we have added, let's call server 3. Okay, so what server 3 does, it acts as a load balancer. What is a load balancer? The guy who is responsible for dividing the load between two or more locations, it called as a load balancer. Okay, so let's imagine these mobile phones are sending the request. So in this case, what will happen, the first request go to the server 1, and when the second request will arrive, nginx or load balancer on this particular server 1 will see which server is busy and which server is free. So in this case, right now the server 1 is busy to serving mobile 1, right? So in that case, the server load balancer will send the request to the server 2, and server 2 will send back response to the respective mobile phone. So this is how typically the load balancer works. Okay, so now this is the normal implementation of the load balancer. So there is a one more thing I would like to add here. Some websites like Google, they add load balancer in regional basis. Okay, so let's say there is a website called google.com, right? And there are visitors for google.com from India and from China, right? So what google.com can do is they can implement load balancer in the regions, so that suppose there are two, let's suppose this is the google.com, right? The website is, let's say, google.com. Here is also google.com. Okay, so what google.com does is whatever is coming from India, which will be transferred to the server 2. Whatever is coming from the China can be transferred to the server 1. So we call this region specific load balancer. Okay, so it might also be possible that google.com can add multiple load balancers in the same region. It can implement load balancing technique in the same region. Okay, suppose there are a lot of users coming from the India. Okay, so what google.com can do is google.com can create a replica of this, and let's suppose this is the replica of this, and then it will be added in the load balancer. Okay, so right now if for Indian region there will be two servers or two replicas, for Chinese region there will be one replica only. Okay, this way also load balancer can be implemented. So there are a lot of ways to implement load balancer. We can implement according to our needs. Okay, one last example, imagine there is a website called aws.com, or let's say amazon.com. Okay, so amazon.com is a basically shopping site. So people do shopping there, people do payments there, right? So let's separate these services. Shopping is a one service of the Amazon and the payments is another service of the Amazon. Usually whatever the high traffic is, it will be on the shopping side. It will not be on the payment side, right? So what Amazon.com can do is it can implement load balancing technique on the shopping website, but it cannot implement, or it will not implement a load balancing technique on the payment side, right? So this is how it also can work. So, okay, so it's up to the system administration, it's up to the developers how they want to implement load balancer. So it doesn't matter in which way you are implementing, as long as it is solving your issues, right? So that's all about the load balancers, and in next video we are going to use DigitalOcean in order to demonstrate how the load balancing can be done on the DigitalOcean. Thanks for watching this one and see you in the next.